Hi. What is it that businesses need most right now? My name is Joe Roberts. During this unprecedented time we have of business lockdown, the slowdown of the economy, almost into a spiral, what is it that businesses are going to need to really survive and even thrive in this time we're now living? I was fired up by Mr. Mark Cuban, the Shark Tank entrepreneur and owner of the Dallas Mavericks, when he declared in an interview online just recently that what he thinks businesses need to do is to get together with their key people, engage them, and then help with them to create brand new opportunities so that they can actually reboot their businesses for success. And like a flash, I knew instantly what it is I needed to do. There are some simple steps that I've used with companies all over the world, and particularly in Europe, that have helped them to generate new wealth, to create dynamic collaborative teams that have really worked together, to improve processes that have saved millions of dollars over the years. And for 35 years, I've done this. And I thought, wow, we can use those same steps right now to help businesses in the United States to really recover and to go on and thrive. These have been companies like Baxter Healthcare, Visa, and even companies like Domino Printed Sciences and a retail company called John Lewis Partnership. These steps, by the way, were not something I've invented. They're something that came out of World War II. General George C. Marshall, who then became the Secretary of State of the United States, introduced the Marshall Plan, where he took money that has been set aside by Congress to help in the rebuilding of Europe following World War II. Of course, it was devastated at the time, and that was the biggest market for all of American-made products. So to go back and rebuild them quickly was going to be essential. So he went to the Ivy League universities and said, give me a decision-making and problem-solving process that we can use to decide where best to put the money for the rebuilding of Europe. And of course, that's what they did. And within a relatively short period of time, Europe was rebuilt and the United States was prospering because of it. What then are these powerful innovation steps we call the 5 steps of the FPISA process? Well, I'll go through those in detail just in a moment. And it will really, I think, make a difference to you if you hang on for a few minutes. We can go through those in a step-by-step fashion, and you'll be able to gain some real understanding of what the steps and the process is in order to achieve this rebooting for your business using this powerful innovation formula. As you can see behind me, we have the Leaning Tower of Pisa. You can imagine the innovation that took to be able to get people to save that building and keep it from falling over as it started to lean all those centuries ago. And tied with that, hopefully, if you can just put an F in front of Pisa, you'll be able to get then the formula, which you'll see now contains the 5 steps and the process around which, if you put together your plan, you will find it'll lead to some powerful ways for you to thrive and to really build your business. And then, hanging on to the end, I'll give you a step-by-step guide for exactly how to implement that. And then if you need some help, also just a way that you can get in contact with me and we could talk this through in even more detail. So then, what is that process? The process does start with the F in FPISA. F standing for fact-finding. The P stands for problem defining. The I for idea finding. The S is for solution gathering. And then finally, probably the toughest step of all is the A, the acceptance gaining to whatever your idea and plan and solution is for going forward. Yeah. So let's then go back and look at each of them in detail. What do we mean by fact finding? I found in working with companies there are 8 wisdom asking questions that if you go through those in a detailed and thorough way, you will come up with a lot of information that you need in order to be able to make decisions going forward and to find out what are the problems, what are the challenges, what are the opportunities that you may need to be facing. In fact, Men Ambassador from the Power of Innovation book, he actually quotes those as proboptias, i.e. problems, opportunities, and challenges. And whatever comes out of there, you'll find some real nuggets. And then you need to really define the problem. And there's a way of doing that which involves taking some time and asking yourself some questions like why, what is true about this, and getting down into the detail of it a little bit more. What is the real problem? What is the cause of that problem? And then you'll come up with some real good nuggets in terms of problems that you can then define and then be able to go on to begin to solve by going to the next stage. So after the fact finding and then the problem defining, then comes the idea finding. This is the fun stage for a lot of people. This is where they really like to be able to put their ideas down, think about anything in a green light way, just put up there whatever is needed in order to make things really, really come together. And again, looking at Edward de Bono and some other people that have worked around this whole area of brainstorming and coming up with great ideas, is to list at least 25 to 40 before you really start being creative. And I've got some examples of how companies have done that in the restaurant industry that we can share with you as well. And then so once we get these ideas, we can then shape them together, gather them together into some solution gathering kind of ideas, and then begin to look at them and establish some criteria. What is the risk if we take that? What are the pros and cons of each idea that we've got going on? Which one will really satisfy the criteria for moving us forward to really be more creative and more innovative in the way we move things forward? And then finally, once you've got some solutions you think will really, really work, then it's time to gain some acceptance. So that's the final part of the formula. To get together a group of people that you need to have to accept the idea and share your ideas with them and do it in a way which is envisioning, a way which really does empower them to be able to help you with the deciding but also the implementation of whatever plan you come up with. So again, just a quick recap, find the facts, identify the problems that you really need to identify, put together and find some ideas that you can then use that might just lead to some really good solutions. And then gather those solutions together and kind of refine them so that you come up with a more of an action plan that will work together. And then finally gain the acceptance and then put that powerful plan into action to help reboot your business. So I hope you found this useful. This is something that you can begin to use in your own business. Again, I'd like to make you an offer that if you just want some more details on how to get together with that, just click on my website, www.joeroberts.com. You'll be able to get some place there where you can click on contact me, send me an email. I'll then get back to you and send you a PDF guideline for how to walk through each step of this powerful innovation formula. Yeah. And then follow on next week, we're going to be looking at some other ways that we can really get the team on board. And what can we do to really build a collaborative team that we're really going to need? One of the companies I worked with recently and have talked to just recently said that that was the key for them getting through this pandemic, was to actually work together with a team and get the whole team contributing. And that's the thing that really seemed to save them.